The jungle had always been a place of noise, laughter, and rivalry. Birds sang from the treetops, deer leapt gracefully across meadows, and even the river that sliced through the forest seemed to hum its own tune. But in the midst of all this life and sound, one creature was known far and wide for something different. His name was Kavi, the monkey. Kavi was not the strongest monkey in the troop. He was not the loudest, nor the fastest at swinging from branch to branch. But he had a gift, his sharp mind. While others fought over bananas or tested their strength, Kavi watched, thought, and learned. Every animal in the jungle whispered about him, some with admiration, others with jealousy, the intelligent monkey. One hot afternoon, while the sun glared like a burning coin in the sky, Kavi rested by the riverbank. His troop had gone deeper into the forest searching for fruit, but he had stayed behind. His sharp eyes caught a scene that tightened his chest. A young deer was struggling in the mud near the river. Its thin legs kicked helplessly as the earth pulled it deeper. From a distance, two jackals watched eagerly, waiting for the little creature to tire so they could claim it. Kavi's heart raced. He was small, he could not fight off jackals. But he could think. He darted up a tree and grabbed a long branch, snapping it off with his nimble hands. With quick leaps, he reached the deer and extended the branch. "Hold on," he screeched, waving it toward the terrified animal. The deer, though trembling, understood. It bit the end of the branch with its teeth. "Pull," Kavi shouted, anchoring himself around a thick root. Slowly, painfully, the deer crawled out of the mud. Its legs were weak, its fur dripping with dirt, but it was safe. The jackals snarled, disappointed, and slunk away. The deer looked at Kavi with wide, grateful eyes. "Why did you help me? You could have walked away." Kavi smiled gently. "Because I could." The deer nuzzled him before darting into the safety of the forest. News of the rescue spread quickly. The parrots squawked it from tree to tree, the elephants rumbled about it at the watering hole, and soon every animal knew the intelligent monkey had used his wits to save a life. But not everyone was pleased. Among the monkeys, envy brewed. Boro, a large and boastful male, scoffed when he heard the tale. "Kavi is no hero," Boro sneered. "He just waved a stick. Strength, not tricks, is what rules this jungle. Let him face danger one day, then we'll see how far his intelligence takes him." Kavi heard these words, but he did not respond. He had no need to prove himself. He knew the jungle would bring its tests soon enough. It happened on a night no one expected. Clouds gathered without warning, turning the sky into a bruised, rumbling mass. Rain poured like buckets overturned, and the river swelled with frightening speed. Trees groaned as winds tore at their branches. Kavi huddled under a thick canopy, his fur soaked. Lightning split the sky, revealing chaos, nests collapsing, animals fleeing, and the once calm river thrashing like a monster unchained. Then came a sound that pierced the roar of the storm, cries for help. Through the sheets of rain, Kavi spotted a family of turtles stranded on a patch of mud. The rising water had surrounded them. If they didn't escape soon, they would be swallowed by the flood. Kavi's mind spun. He scanned the trees, the river, the fallen branches. And then, an idea struck. He tore long vines from a nearby tree and knotted them together. He swung across the river, securing one end of the vine to a sturdy trunk. Then he darted back, tied the other end, and created a bridge of vines stretched across the furious water. "Come," he shouted to the turtles, waving his arms. One by one, the turtles crawled onto the vine bridge. The current lashed against them, threatening to drag them away, but Kavi balanced above them, guiding, encouraging, shielding them with his own body when the waves surged too high. Finally, soaked and trembling, the last turtle reached the safe bank. The oldest turtle, his shell scarred with age, raised his head to Kavi. "You saved our family. Your kindness will not be forgotten." Kavi only nodded, exhausted, his chest heaving. The rain pelted his face, but his heart felt warm. The storm passed, but it left the jungle scarred. Trees had fallen, nests were destroyed, and the riverbanks were unrecognizable. Amidst this wreckage, Kavi's deeds became legend. Animals bowed their heads when he passed. Even the mighty elephants rumbled in respect. And Boro, the jealous monkey, boiled with rage. He cornered Kavi one evening when the troop was searching for food. "You think you're a hero," Boro growled. "But all you do is trick others with your cleverness. Strength is what matters. One day you'll fail, and the jungle will see your true weakness." Kavi met his glare calmly. "Maybe strength matters. But sometimes, saving lives doesn't need strength. It needs heart." Boro snarled and stormed away. But his words lingered in the air, like a shadow waiting to fall. Weeks later, danger arrived not from storms or beasts, but from humans. Hunters crept into the forest, silent as snakes. They set traps, snares hidden in leaves, pits covered with branches, cages baited with fruit. The animals, unaware, walked into danger. Birds were caught in nets, rabbits in snares, and even a young leopard cub was trapped in a wooden cage. Panic spread. The jungle buzzed with fear. Kavi watched from a treetop, his mind racing. He saw how the hunters moved, where they placed their traps. He studied every detail, every pattern. Then he climbed down and gathered the animals. We cannot fight them with strength, Kavi declared. But we can outsmart them. The animals listened, their eyes wide, their hope fragile. That night, under the silver glow of the moon, Kavi's plan unfolded. The elephants, guided by his instructions, pushed fallen logs to block the hunters' path. The birds flew low, distracting the men with sudden dives. The deer stampeded through shallow water, creating noise and confusion. And Kavi, he moved quietly, untying knots, breaking ropes, and opening cages. His fingers worked swiftly, freeing creature after creature. When the hunters turned to catch him, Kavi swung high into the trees, leading them in circles. He mimicked calls of wild animals, making them believe predators lurked nearby. Terrified, the hunters stumbled, dropped their weapons, and fled into the night. The jungle was safe again. When dawn broke, the freed animals gathered around Kavi. Birds perched on branches above him, deer and rabbits huddled near his feet, even the leopard cub purred softly beside him. Boro stood in the crowd, silent. His eyes, once filled with contempt, now glistened with something new, shame. He stepped forward slowly. I was wrong, he admitted, his voice heavy. Strength might win fights, but it could never have saved us from the hunters. You saved us all. Kavi looked at him with gentle eyes. It doesn't matter who was right. What matters is that we stand together. In that moment, something shifted. The rivalry melted. The troop of monkeys, the herds of deer, the flocks of birds, all the creatures of the jungle, felt united. For once, they were not just animals living side by side. They were a family. From that day forward, the jungle thrived not only in its beauty but in its spirit. The animals no longer whispered about the intelligent monkey with envy or doubt. They spoke his name with gratitude, admiration, and love. Kavi never sought glory. He never asked for praise. He continued living as he always had, quietly watching, gently helping, always ready to use his mind not for himself, but for others. And though many storms would come, though hunters might return, the jungle knew it had something stronger than fear. It had the heart of an intelligent monkey who believed that kindness, above all, could change everything.